Hello, today I will show you how to install Taiko and Gouge. It's a tandem software for testing modern application websites. So first of all, you can read about it here. And there is what is Taiko, and Taiko is a free and open source browser automation tool built by the team behind Gouge from ThoughtWorks. And it is a node library with a clear and concise API to automate Chromium-based browsers like Chrome, Microsoft Edge, Opera, and Firefox. Tests written in Taiko are highly readable and maintainable. And because this is a Node.js library, we need to install Node.js, and then we will install the Gouge. Also, if you will go to download here, there are tabs here. So if you will click on the package manager, you can choose the operating system, and I will use an NVM to install it. I will try to install it first of all, so I will copy this line, paste it here. I will try to make it work, and here we go. It should install, and you can see NVM source string already is in home /c, so string is there. And close and reopen your terminal to start using NVM, or run the following you to use it now. And I can try to show you vim bash rc file, and if I will go to the end, you should see at the end it should be GG, yeah, this one, shift G at the end, and here is this, right? NVM dear home, blah 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 blah. So what I basically did previously, I copied this exactly this and put it into my bash rc. So source bash rc, and it should work. And we can try now to run the nvm install 20. So I will try to copy this one and paste it directly here, and it should work. You can see downloading and installing Node version 20.13.0. Okay, fine. And now it is good to test the version. So type choose node v, node-v, and it should show you the correct version. Excellent. The next step is to check the npm version. So npm-v should show you the result, npm-v, and here we go, 10.5.2. Right. So Node.js and npm are installed. So this is everything actually what we need. Then the next step is to install the Gouge. So get started, and now you need to select that you need Linux, JavaScript, and Visual Studio Code, because we will need to install our Visual Studio Code in our environment. So here is the installation instruction. So first of all, you need to or install Gouge to a custom path. So it is good to install it to a custom path, or you can install it using npm like this, or you can install using zip file and then installing Gouge extension in Visual Studio Code, etc, etc. So I will use the npm to install the Gouge. Copy like this one and go here, and the best option is to create a directory for our test. So mkdir and test. Go into the test directory and install Gouge. Here we go, it is installed. Add it to packages. Nice. Eventually, if you want to install it specifically for this path, you can do something like this, but if you need a custom path, you can install or you can install it to use a location bin. So it depends, but the best option, if we have an npm already installed, we can use the npm. Fine. So now we need a latest Visual Studio Code, so I will open this one, and here is the version in deb, so I will just click it, and now you should see it is downloading. Excellent. So we will download it and we will install the Visual Studio according to this step mentioned here on this website. So yeah, follow the steps to add the Gouge VS Code. But how to install the Visual Studio? So cd downloads, list the content. I will, by the way, I will remove this node because I don't need it. Okay, and I have a div, so sudo dpkj-i, if I remember correctly, and code something like this, and it should run the installation. Okay, and now it's done, so we can try to figure it out. Do we have a Visual Studio here? Yeah, it is installed, so we can run it, and voila, it's done. So we can choose your theme, so I will use the dark modern version. Okay, which support browse language extensions, so JavaScript. Okay, continue settings, etc. Next section, Markdown, and that's it. So this is the Visual Studio, and now we need to go to our extensions, right? So we need to click this icon to open extensions here, and type Gouge, just like that, and now install this. Then, if I remember correctly, also as linter, as links, yeah, this one, install, and also we need Java. Look for this. I will look for this in a moment. And we need to install JavaScript, but we need something like Babel, if I remember, or maybe this one, Babel JavaScript. Let's look for this, because we need something like this. Babel. One more time. Babel. What about this? Babel. Yeah, this one. Babel JavaScript. Install it. And it is good to have also something like Git extension pack. So I will look for it. Git extension pack. This one. So install it. Also Git graph, it's good to have it, and maybe Git history also, because it will be helpful. But basically, yeah, Git history is installed, and actually also you can install something like Git ignore. Yeah, this one. Okay, it's installed. So basically you need only the gouge, the slint and Babel JavaScript. So without this you will not be able to make it work, and that's how it looks like. So this is something crucial. And then we can proceed with the installation of the necessary packages, but this time not in Visual Studio. I will minimize it, but I will go back to the test directory, and inside this directory we need to install additional packages. So we need to install log4j.s, not log4j. So npm install log4.js. It should install it here. Then the same, but as lint in this directory, and it had to be installed directly. Okay, fine. Then we need to install something like npx install here deeps per dependencies slint, then dash config, and then dash r bnb dash base. It should install it here. Do you want to proceed? Yes, please. Yeah, it's installed. Excellent. Then npm install xml2.js. Okay. And after that, we need to set something like environment. So door env, it's an environment variable, and node. Then els underscore reject underscore unauthorized. Okay, equals 0, like that. Okay, I know what is going on. I need to use export, so I will try to figure it out. Just because it was for, I will try to something like this. Export, no TLS reject unauthorized 0. Yeah, it's working, just because it was a command from the Windows. Okay, and now after that we can install a specific version of a Taiko. So it will be npm install and Taiko and version, so at 1.2.7. So I'm installing the older version of the Taiko, and it is now installing. And if you're curious why, it is because of one function that is changed in a newer version of Taiko. So this is a function is visible text, and it was a problematic thing, so I just figured out that it is working in an older version. And yeah, so but basically it should work with a newer version, so you can try to make it work with a newer version also, and I will try to figure it out later. Maybe I will find out a way to make it work, and we'll install a newer version of Taiko. But basically in most cases it should work with a newer version. So you can see it's deprecated. Eventually you can try to just run npm install Taiko instead this one, so we can run something like this, and it will install the newest version of the Taiko. Okay, we will try to figure it out. Okay, so you can see it found 0 vulnerabilities. So all of this is working, and now there's no problem. And here there were vulnerabilities in an older version of Taiko, so it told me to run npm audit fix force to fix problems. But if you're using a newer version of Taiko, there is no problem, no vulnerabilities. Eventually you can try to run this command like this, and then just Ctrl+Shift+P, and I should be able to paste it here, and we can try to make it work. But also we can try npm font, and here we go, something like this. Okay, so all of this is installed, and now we need to install Gouge in this directory. So you are installing Node.js, npm, nvm, all of this. You're installing extensions in Visual Studio, because without it it will not work. And you also need to install and initialize all those packages like I mentioned here together with Taiko. And now we are going to install the Gouge. So npm install and get Gouge like this, and CLI, and it should install. So now it is installed, and now we need to initialize the Gouge.js in this directory, because we will use JavaScript. So Gouge like this, init.js, initializing template from GitHub. You can see it's downloading, and now we will try to list the content. And here we have something like previously the directory was empty, and now we have inside this test directory something like a Docker file, Docker ignore, env, git ignore, manifest JSON, node modules, package JSON, package log JSON, spreads test, and VS Code. And this is the first step to make it work. And now very basic explanation how everything is working. First of all, we will go to spets directory, delete the content, and we have an example spets, and I will go up. And to be honest, it is much more convenient now to switch to Visual Studio to go to this directory and make everything there. So click on an Explorer and open a folder. And now I will choose a test and click on Open here. And it will open my and yes, I trust the authors, and apply and reload. Now the Visual Studio will reload all of this, and here we have a test directory, and we have a file. So we have a Gouge, and we have a VS Code here. We have env and default properties, headless.js properties. We have logs. We have node modules. We have spets, and we have tests. And actually, you need to understand how everything is basically working. So this is the really the lesson number one. So you can see JS properties. The test timeout is set to in milliseconds. Then we have a debug set to false and step implementation directory tests. So what it will do, it will look for tests inside the test directory. And this is the implementation, steps implementation in JS, and also this file is one of the most important. And we have something like specs and an example specs. And how it is working? Well, the first one with the first hash is just a title of a specs file. So this is a title for this example specs file, right? And two hashes, it means a test, a name of the test, and a star here is a exact step that will be performed. So if you want to run it, there is something like add a task must display, add task must display. You can see you have a test, display number of items. Then the next step is a must list only active tasks, and we have add tasks, complete tasks, and there is everything what should be done. And at the end, this is something very important actually, just because if you add something like this, what I highlight already, and then add a task below, something like this, it's a step that is repeated, actually a task that is but it is a step just because there is a start, but it is a step that is repeated every task is done. So this is a task, so all the steps are done, and at the end of this will run, and after that, when it will clear all tasks, next task, so this one will run and will run all those steps, and then again it will clear all tasks. So below this, if you have steps, they will be repeated every task is after every task ended, right? It finished the job, so task is completed, run the steps, this additional step that is defined here. If you will define a step before, for example, here or here, I mean before the first task marked with two hashes, it will be treated like a build, like something that should be run before every single step defined in this file. So if I will define star something, just as an example, star do something, do sth, this will be done as a first thing, then the whole set, the whole task with all those steps will be performed, then one more time this will run before this task. So if you will define with two hashes here, for example, something like two hashes, test number no 3, and then star blah, and you know what I mean, test no 4 star blah, this is working the way. So this is repeated at the end of every task because it's after this, and this is repeated before every single task is run. So it will run do something, and then this, then this, and then one more time do something, then this, all of this, right? And after that it will run this, then will once again do something, run this, and run this, and once again do something, run this, and run this. This is the way it works. If you will type a text without hash or without a star, it is treated like a standard comment and Gauge will ignore it. So, for example, this line is a comment, this line is a comment, this is also a comment. So all those lines are comments actually. So this is how Gauge is working. When we close this one, and by the way, I will reopen it once again. And now you're wondering how Gauge knows what to run. If you will select this and click with Control, so press Control on your keyboard, and then select one of these. And click on this, and it will open what? A step implementation.js file. And exactly, it opens the file that contains all the functions, exactly what they are doing. They are opening websites, for example. You can open a browser here, right? Then write something to this browser. For example, if you have a field with, for example, I don't know, login and password, and you need to type login and password, it is able to do this and type login and password to login to a website. Close browser, go to, press, screenshot, click, checkbox to left of link text. So all these functions are defined here. And you can see before suite and there is an after suite. So all these functions step how it is working actually, because you need to understand it very good. So go back to example step, and here is our text in the step. So we will focus on lines with stars. Add task first task, right? So click this one and it will show you exactly this. Step add task item. Since this is in a JavaScript, and then you have a white right item into text box, what needs to be done, blah blah blah, enter. And then you have every steps written here, and also there is a step clear all tasks. So it is working the similar way the grep command is working in Linux. You can run grep recursively through entire directory. So because of the properties where the test directory is defined, what it is doing, so you have a text, you have a phrase add task first task. So it will run like a grep is running recursively through entire test directory. It will search this phrase in all the JS JavaScript files that are located in test directory. So it is looking this for this phrase, and if it will find it in first place, it will run the step. So thanks this, it is working the way. So must display an item. So click this one, and exactly you have this function what is defined here. Must display message, must not have table. So all those functions, it is looking for this in this file. If there will be an additional JS file, it will also look for. If it will not find in this file, it will go to the next file and it will be looking for the exact phrase that is defined here. So it is looking for a 100 exact phrase that are exactly the same defined in a JS file, in JavaScript file. And thanks this, it is going to a proper step here. And then, okay, I have step that is defined, and I have this phrase here. This is the 100 exact match, right? So I need to execute a function that is defined in this step, and it is doing this function. This is the way we work. So basically, you need to know JavaScript to run these commands, to write them down here, and to create new JavaScript files to test a website, for example, an application or something else, it is able to make it work, and it is able to run the test. And now we'll go back to example spec one more time, and here is something like run the specification here above, and debug spec, and these two appears when you will install Gouge extension in a Visual Studio. So we will try to run this specification, and now you can see it is running a tool, opening a web browser, and you can see exactly it is doing all the steps that are defined in this example test. Here we go, it is done, and you can see a success test path. But moreover, if you will open this directory, so I will look for the test, it is located here, and then you will go to reports and then HTML report and open this index.html file, and it should open the browser, and it will show you the report. So we can see, congratulations, you have gone all green and saved all the environment. So exactly, you can click on the test and it will show you what it did. Display number of items, must lead only active tasks, and you can see it went through all the steps defined in an application in a spec file. So it executed all the JavaScript functions and did the job, and opened a website and went through the entire process. So this is the way we can test it, and you have total scenario, so we can click what has been done, and also this one 0 fails, and total spec. So if there will be an error, and I will show you this in lesson number 2, then you will see that there is a screenshot made of a website that didn't pass the test, and you will see exactly not only the screenshot but also there will be a description what exactly is going on and what kind of error appeared, and you will be able to understand why the test failed and what needs to be done, and what kind of a fix should be performed to pass the test correctly. So this is basically everything that I can present in this lesson, and I will now close all of this and this, and so you can also work with this later in an automatical way, and I will try to explain everything how to make it work. I mean, by automations I understand that we have for example a Docker runner, Jenkins at least, and additionally, and it is good to have GitLab. So what we can do, we can create a pipeline for Jenkins, and the pipeline will be able to pick up the code, for example a Docker file and other code that is needed, and in this Docker file we can define what kind of container we want to create. For example, we can use an Alpine container, and inside this container we want to install Node.js, npm, and VM, etc., you know, Gouge, Taiko, etc., all those things, and perform and a test. So we can, inside this container, we can connect to the GitLab one more time, get the test from the repository, and then run the test inside the container. And after that, all the reports can be saved as an artifact into Jenkins. So in Jenkins, you will see compressed HTML report directory. It will be as, for example, zip file or targz or something else, and you can just download it, extract it, and open the index.html file and see the report. And why automation? Because you're running the test inside a container, and after the test is done, the container is shut down, and the best option is that you can run multiple tests simultaneously, so you don't waste the time. And of course, these tests, some tests are very long, but if you are running all those tests simultaneously, it is much faster, and you just save your time, and you can just schedule everything, and it will run at the proper time, and then you just view reports, and if there will be some kind of failure, you will just focus on fixing the problem, and all those tests that passed, you can forget about it, and they can go to the next phase. I hope you enjoyed this video, so thank you very much, have a nice day or night, take care, bye bye.